Community move today is 1h3. That is what we're gonna do. Normally I play something like c4. I feel like going g4 this time. Knight f6 is just so provocative that you gotta try and punish.
Hello.
Let's go here. Like this is not so stupid. Knight d6. Oh, knight d6. Arrows haven't gotten any better recently. And maybe e4. He takes an e5. Huh. Let's go here first then. Maybe I'll take here. I don't know. So clearly he wants to play e5. gf6, he goes ef6. I don't like that too much. Knight d4 is ridiculous. Let's put d4. Knight f7. And I'll probably take. Now gf6. Let's go. There's just a bishop g3. This is very interesting. Not like too suitable for a Title Tuesday game where I kind of want to play a little bit more technically most of the time, but I like this position. At least in practical terms, this feels quite reasonable. Also, I feel like this is somebody I've played before, probably several times in Title Tuesday. Maybe in last week, who knows. Emote only, well, you know, I kind of started the stream very, very late, so it's not a shock that mods are not quite at work yet. Let's take Queen d5. Queen d2 feels reasonable, unless it loses to e3. e3, Queen e3, Queen g2. Castles looks good for me. Maybe this is a nice trap. Threatening his queen, otherwise. If he takes and I take with the queen, I should have a great position. Yeah. So this was intended as a little trap, but maybe he didn't have a lot of good options. Knight c4 was the move. Yeah, I think Knight c4 was the move. And I might have been in a little bit of trouble. Okay. So, yeah, this is his best chance, I believe. But I also don't think it's enough. Maybe it's not that clear. Castles, Queen d5 back. Knight f3, Knight e5. Ugh, arrows again. Should win, but he does have some counterplay. Knight f5 maybe? And Queen back. I got a fork. Yeah, I like this move. Knight f3, Queen... maybe Knight f3, Queen e2, and Bishop e5. Yeah, that was easily winning. That was dumb. I was just thinking of Knight e5 and then Bishop e6. I thought it's winning, but I didn't see anything super clear, so I decided to go for the flashier alternative, which is best case and necessary. Worst case, it's jeopardized my win here. It's an interesting line here. Like here, Knight d6. King f8, then f7, but then there's Queen a3, intermediate move. I don't quite see it there. Like, I don't feel like my position is bad. No. To actually prove it is not easy. Maybe I just have to make some kind of quiet move. c4, preventing the check here. Also, my idea is a rook d8 in the other line. That was absolute nonsense. That rook was protected by the queen. Surprisingly hard for him to find a move. This might be a threat, and then Bishop d6, Queen d6, and that looks very dangerous. Maybe c4 is just winning. It would be funny. And yeah, I understand the position is hard, but he has to make a move at some point. Okay, this is just pure desperation. I mean, there is never a petrol here. f6 is made after rook 8, so it's completely over. Also, Queen b6, King e4 wins the game with King of the Hill. Yeah, it just runs out of time. 3 then, since I've already done 1h3. Luis Ernesto Quesada Perez. One of not that many. He's half of a pair of brothers that are both grandmasters. There aren't that many, I think. So his brother Yasser. And which others are there? There must be a few, but I'm not thinking of them right now. Okay, we kind of ended up in a fairly normal-looking English opening. I think I gotta go Knight f3 here. Normally you want to play e3 and Knight to e2 to keep this diagonal open. Did I miss an opportunity to go for an early d5? I maybe did. Now he's going to go back to d8. Idiot! Back in the days, I know it was recommended that you want to go rook e1 and preserve this bishop, but it feels a bit yucky having this bishop down here. So I'm going against the old wisdom, my little rebellion. Also here I'm intending an immediate strike in the center. c5. Oh, I do not like the look of that. What about your knight on d8? He still wants to bring it to e6, I suppose. I guess it's fine. Let's go e4. So it's symmetrical, but this space that I have on the queen side I think can be very useful. Oh, I think I should take here, knight h4. I don't know, this feels good for white. Hinting at a6? Not hinting, really. Just actually suggesting it quite strongly. Where should I go with the queen? Maybe slightly annoying. d2 maybe? I'm not worried about f3. I think I just hide the bishop, and I don't think he has enough resources for the moment to make it count. Or maybe his knight is getting in there quickly. Okay, so now there is definite intent. a6, he wants f3. So I should go h3. h5, I'll go g4. f3 maybe? I feel like he's got to sack something here. Very interesting game. I don't often say that, but I also usually mean it. g6 maybe? Well, that is probably a good move. Here, f3. Bishop f3? That doesn't really work. I guess we gotta play a little bit more conservatively on. Maybe putting the queen on d1 is better, giving fewer tactical options. This, f3. f8, f8. Very murky. Queen e3, king g2. Probably good for white. a6. Let's go. I mean, I could do knight e4, which was a lot safer, but I felt like going for broke here. Oh, he just does this. I see. I'm just thinking rook is better than bishop. That's as far as my brain could compute there. I hadn't even thought of b6. It's a little bit embarrassing. We'll take f3, knight e4. Feels like I am semi-consolidating here. It's not going to be easy to win, because there aren't a lot of open lines, but my experience is that people don't usually just sit still in these situations. They usually try and do something. I also have... Yeah, that is actually annoying. I kind of want to run the king all the way over. Do I have to close the position now? That is annoying. Actually, very annoying. Not worried about him winning the exchange back. Maybe I should be. Yeah, I think if I had an advantage, I don't have it anymore. Check. I'm not worried about that. Knight d5. I'm trying to get some knight f4. And d2 maybe. With this rook, and then knight f4. Let's go. I could have tried to win on time, just sitting. But I might as well try and win this way. Okay, interesting move, but like I gotta be happy with the queen trade here. Okay, I have to take immediately, which is a little bit of a shame. As long as I keep it going, I should win on time. Yeah, I don't have a lot of moves. My position is not objectively better at all. Now we can take this pawn. But at least it doesn't worsen my position that much, and it means that we are further away from any 50 moves shenanigans. Oh, forced him to spend a little bit of time. and then he, yeah, something went wrong there. Yeah, this was a bit of a dirty flag.